40 and I still haven't figured it out. And by figured it out, it means I haven't figured out my life, what I want to do, what to do now that I'm in this circumstance that I'm in. Does that sound like you? Because I'm almost 40, I'm 35, and I can't say that I haven't figured it out because I feel as if though I figured out what's most important. I may not have stability in the ways that I really need it right now. I may not know what to do about the changing times and how to react to the future that's coming crashing down on us really quickly, but I have it figured out in the ways that are necessary, in the most important ways. I know what I value, I know what I don't want in my life, and I feel as if though those two things right there are simply good enough to move forward and figure out the rest as I go along. But a lot of people don't feel that way. And as you get older, feeling like you haven't figured it out starts to be a bigger question that's like growing out of the corner of your eye, your mind's eye, and sort of creating this deep visceral fear and depression due to the fact that, hey, I may not be relevant anymore or young enough for certain jobs and not old enough for retirement. And the interesting thing is that figuring it out today isn't just about figuring out what you like to do or want to do. It's about trying to figure out what there will be available to be able to do. So what's there in the job market? And I'm thinking that a lot of the conversations that surround this whole AI, robotics conversation that has to do with this uncertainty of what you're going to do is not really that important of a question. The question is more important is the one that makes you feel rooted and integrated. So that often has a lot to do with going inside, right? Like because there might be an economy that's good there, or there might be a government that takes care of you with universal basic income, it really doesn't matter. It won't change the fact that you haven't figured it out in the important ways. And those two ways I already mentioned, right? Like, what do I value and what do I really not need in my life? And I think that if there's enough stillness to let all of the chaos and information and stress settle down, it becomes more and more clear what you value. Because when you're not disturbed and you're at peace, what disturbs your peace becomes very apparent. And you start to remember, oh, I used to I used to let myself be like swept up in this problem thinking it was important, but it's disturbing my peace and I don't need it. It's not an illusion anymore. I don't actually need that thing. And knowing what you hate, well, it's the same thing. If you're still and you're at peace, when you do the things that you don't like, you start to realize, yeah, like this is not something that's good for me. But then the question is, what if I have to, right? And figuring that out is a whole problem. The solutions are always internal. I mean, you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, okay, well, what answers am I going to get? Or at the very least, you're looking for validation. I feel seen. It's not just me that feels like I don't have it figured out and I'm getting older. But that's not going to help you. This is what's extremely important. People who offer you validation and people who offer you solutions often are not actually looking for your best interest. And I think that it's healthy for you to question even what you're listening to right now, right? Like what I'm telling you should immediately make you think, well, then what makes you better, right? And that's the natural, healthy response. Nothing is better. No one is better than you. You know yourself, or you have the capability to get to know who you are. So you want to figure it out, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's where you want to live in your life, really has a lot to do with you doing the groundwork and not spending so much time thinking about figuring it out according to what society tells you, according to what your family tells you, according to what your needs are. Sometimes we confuse certain things as needs when in fact they're just wants. So remove those illusions. Try to make sure that you don't actually need certain things. You're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need to have the $50,000 car. And then that leaves you way clearer to move forward into trying to understand what it is that you have to do. And that's what figuring it out is all about. The next thing I would say is there's always going to be something to figure out. I mean, that's the human condition. So go in accepting that and being overjoyed with the task and purpose of moving through the story that develops over time as you figure it out. It's not like a final thing, is what I'm trying to say. Figuring it out is figuring it out for now and figuring it out for myself, figuring it out for the purpose that I've chosen. I'm making these videos, for example, trying to figure it out. What's the format? How do I reach people? How can I help them? In what ways am I able to contribute? And is it effective? And that's really how I'm figuring it out, right? I'm doing my best by taking the steps that I can, hey Weko, to figure it out. But I'm doing it on my own terms, not asking other people for their opinions about what I should do, right? And that's the main takeaway here that I wanted to express. So I'll catch you in the next one.